CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Staff are questioning the safety of the Royal Alexandra Hospital after a patient was nearly killed in a stabbing on Friday night. The assault is also raising questions about when a previously promised weapons screening pilot program will start. Evan Kenny reports.
Dr. Warren Thirsk has been walking through the emergency room doors at the Royal Alexandra Hospital for 25 years. In that time, he's seen patients get more violent.
I don't think there's any way to normalize this.
He's scared for the safety of doctors, staff, and patients after an attack in the waiting room Friday night.
That was a very scary, real, and potentially lethal situation for everyone within 20 feet of that knife.
Police say a fight broke out between two men. A 42-year-old was stabbed and suffered serious life-threatening injuries.
Our current policy involves having a sign and waving a paper in front of everyone who comes through the emergency department and asking them if they have a weapon to voluntarily disclose it.
AHS announced the Royal Alex as the site for a 2-year weapons screening pilot project. Similar systems are currently in place in hospitals in Winnipeg and Windsor. The metal detector-like system would use AI to find concealed weapons. Alberta's hospitals minister says AHS is advancing a weapons screening program for the site. The request for proposals has closed, and we are working to accelerate implementation timelines. This program will add an additional layer of protection for both patients and staff.
When I go to a hockey game at Rogers Arena, there's lots of weapons screening, and I can't get in with a weapon.
Alberta's NDP agrees with the weapons screening project. It also says more resources and hospital spaces would help alleviate the problem.
I'm not asking Matt Jones to provide personal security in hospitals. I'm asking him to sit down with the security staff who are there, with the nurses, with the doctors, with the paramedics, to hear their stories and put the resources in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Dr. Thirsk says if nothing changes,
it is predictable and expected that violent episodes will happen.
AHS had previously said it will determine if any permanent equipment will be used in the future for emergency departments across the province. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
An autopsy will be performed tomorrow as police investigate the suspicious death of a man in West Edmonton Friday night. A youth has been arrested. Police say they responded to a home near 82nd Ave and 175th Street just after 9:30 Friday night. Officers found an injured 52-year-old man. He died shortly after in hospital. The male youth was arrested at the home. The Edmonton Police Homicide Section is investigating. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. Police say they're not looking for any additional suspects at this time. 8 years after the Humboldt Broncos bus crash, work is underway to create a permanent memorial at the crash site. On April 6, 2018, the hockey team's bus collided with a semi at an intersection near Tisdale, Saskatchewan. 16 people died, 13 others were injured. The Humboldt Broncos Memorial Committee says asphalt work for a parking lot and pathways at the site of the crash is scheduled for this year. The next phase will focus on building a monument to honor those killed. A pile of rubble along Stony Plain Road is causing safety concerns and image frustrations for nearby businesses. The debris from the Jasper Place Hotel has been on the site since it burned down in February. As Jeremy Thompson reports, the pressure is on to tidy it up.
The Jasper Place Hotel was already closed and unoccupied when a fire ripped through it in February. In the month and a half since, the structure was flattened, and that's about it. Strong wind swirls dust and debris over a skinny sidewalk onto Stony Plain Road. At one corner, you can hear moving water. The director of the area's business association is frustrated by the state of things. Todd Jane says now is the time for the city of Edmonton to clean up the site and charge the property owner for costs. This site is a safety concern, and the debris needs to be contained or removed immediately. The site is fenced along the main roads, but the fence ends here in the alley. You can see some debris has already been blown in, along with the tripping hazard and eyesore of it all. There could be some health concerns here too. In 2020, AHS ordered the Jasper Place Hotel closed after a smaller fire revealed asbestos in the building. Based on a statement to CTV News from the Environmental Public Health Department of AHS, there's no evidence the asbestos was ever addressed. A provincial land title search shows the property was transferred to a numbered company last August. A City of Edmonton spokesperson says its problem properties team is investigating, and the city is currently working with the property owner to ensure the nuisance debris is removed and progress is being made to clean the site. If that falls through, then the city can clear the land and charge the owner for the work. In the meantime, the rubble remains. While council is working to crack down on derelict and vacant commercial properties, the proposed tax penalties won't be in place until at least 2030. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Drivers have about 2 weeks to give feedback on headlights and how driving at night impacts them. Transport Canada is conducting a survey to see if new guidelines for vehicle headlights are needed. Amanda Anderson reports.
Headlights have changed a lot over the years.
They've gone from bi-xenons to LED lights. I mean, they used to have incandescent light bulbs before. So the brightness and the clarity of the headlights has changed drastically.
Now the federal government wants to know how brighter headlights and glare are impacting road users. Transport Canada has launched an online survey asking people about the factors that contribute to headlight glare, how it affects their driving, and what, if anything, should be done about it.
For the most part, I don't have too many issues. There are a few, like if you've got a big truck right behind you and you're in a smaller car, that it's really bright in your headlight or in your rearview mirror. That's kind of the worst.
I think maybe some of the new lights are brighter, but it doesn't bother me.
Christian Gersdorf, a longtime auto technician and sales executive, says lights that are too bright are often aftermarket.
All of a sudden putting those bright blue headlights in there, a person really has to make sure that they're checking what the light bulbs themselves say to make sure that they're actually allowed to be used in their car.
Some vehicles are equipped with technology to automatically adjust mirrors, while others require manual adjustment to help with headlight glare.
It's a matter of getting to know the vehicle that you own specifically and just being better prepared in case somebody does come up behind you with their high beams, so you know to flick it, or with your side mirrors sometimes you have to just angle them outward so you don't get blinded.
Some drivers say they're more concerned with people who don't turn their headlights on at all.
You can see their taillights aren't on, and yeah, that's just dangerous.
A person in the driver's seat sees the lights out the front of the vehicle, they see their dash lights on, they just start driving. They don't realize that the switch on their headlight switch has an auto setting. And if it's not set to auto, your taillights aren't turned on.
The headlight survey is available on Transport Canada's website until April 20th. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Construction work on Jasper Ave begins again tomorrow. This is phase 2 of the city's Imagine Jasper Avenue project. It's part of a multi-year reconstruction plan to improve Jasper Ave. Traffic will be impacted between 117th Street and 121st Street. The work includes new storm sewers, traffic signals, and street lighting, along with upgraded landscaping and wider sidewalks. This phase is expected to be finished later this year. Jasper Ave will fully reopen to traffic this winter. The city says utility work will also take place between 121st and 124th Streets later this year. Construction on the Beverly Bridge will also restart after a winter hiatus. Tomorrow, traffic will be moved to the south side of the bridge and narrowed to 2 lanes. Speed limit will be reduced to 60 kilometers per hour in the construction zone. The city says these changes will stay in place until the end of October, depending on weather and work progress. According to Alberta Major Projects, this one is estimated to cost around $16.7 million. The cost of jet fuel is skyrocketing as the war in Iran continues. That increase is being passed on to consumers. As CTV's Tyler Barrow reports, there are things beyond the price tag that travelers should be thinking about.
Even as Arfan Rashid prepares for his flight to Chicago, he doesn't see himself getting on planes unless required.
Like maybe I would travel only for business purpose.
Originally from Pakistan, he won't be flying home anytime soon as the war on Iran has raised safety concerns in some regions and hiked the cost of jet fuel just about everywhere. Air Canada recently announced a surcharge for its vacation packages reflecting increased costs of ground packages, while WestJet said last week it would be adding a temporary fuel surcharge of $60 starting Wednesday on all bookings made with a companion voucher.
We're looking at getting cash, additional cash, from the use of frequent flyer points.
WestJet is also scaling back operations by 1% in April and 3% in May, consolidating flights on lower demand routes and adjusting the travel period for seasonal offerings. Fuel is the biggest contributor to airline operating costs. According to Graddick, about a third of the world's aviation fuel originates through the Strait of Hormuz, which is now shut down by the war in Iran. He says jet fuel continues to climb, sitting above $170 a barrel. Prior to the war, it was at 65.
Nothing has gone through there in 6 weeks. The last of those ships to arrive in destination is this week. The war keeps going and the strait is closed. That pipeline is still going to take at least 6 weeks to get back into flow. A major disruption, which Graddick warns could have airports in Asian countries unable to provide fuel. One travel consultant says now is the time to have insurance.
Be flexible because dates and routes may change, and avoid tight connections. More schedule volatility may occur.
Travelers heading out, not sure if they want to deal with the headache going forward.
Definitely causes some pause and thinking before you travel. I think going overseas or to Europe, it probably will be.
There is not a very convenient situation that I will travel for pleasure.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Rural municipalities in Alberta are calling on the province to consider a limited grizzly bear hunt. They believe it's part of a broader plan to address safety concerns. Wildlife advocates say updated grizzly population data is needed before any decision is made. CTV's Kevin Green reports.
A resolution from Cardston County calling for a limited grizzly bear hunt won support at the Rural Municipalities of Alberta Spring Convention.
We're looking for a balanced approach that protects the lives and livelihoods of rural residents while recognizing the ongoing importance of responsible wildlife management.
Provincial data from the last 5 years shows grizzly maulings peaked in 2021, with 4 dropped to 0 in 2023 and rose to 2 in both 2024 and 2025. The same data shows 2 people were killed by grizzlies in each of 2021 and 2023. A hunt won't reduce those numbers and could make conflicts worse, according to the NDP's Sarah El-Maligi.
The only thing that reduces conflict is if you actually manage people and properties and work with communities to reduce attractants, which are the source of the conflict in the first place. So hunting does not reduce conflict.
2 years ago, the province began issuing tags for problem bears. So far, only 1 has been killed. In a statement to CTV, the Ministry of Forestry and Parks says grizzly bear populations have increased, making public awareness, education, conflict prevention, and the responder program increasingly important. Our approach is guided by science and expert advice, with a focus on maintaining public safety, reducing conflicts, and maintaining sustainable grizzly bear populations. The Alberta Wilderness Association says the province doesn't actually know how many bears there are because it hasn't counted them in years.
When you're looking at wildlife management, we really want science-based decisions, and right now we don't have the science.
A province-wide census released in 2021, which did not count federal parks, estimated Alberta's grizzly population at between 856 and 973 bears. The province thinks there could be over 1,100 now. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Coming up next, women's pro hockey returns to Edmonton. And thousands of players on hundreds of teams descend on city rinks.
You get to come out here and you're representing, a lot of them represent their nation, their settlement or their First Nation, so that's who they want to play for.
Good evening, folks. Cool, cloudy, and windy through the day today. We only get 2 for a daytime high. And we're looking at a similar setup for tomorrow, plus some snow. Snowfall warnings in effect across the north. Talk more about all that in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Nearly 5,000 hockey players from more than 300 teams took over rinks in Edmonton for the Native Hockey Alberta Provincial Championships. Evan Kenny reports.
Thousands of Indigenous hockey players came to Edmonton over the weekend with the goal of winning Alberta's Native Hockey Provincials and the expectation of making lifelong friends.
I played in this tournament when I was a kid, and You know, like I remember all my teammates, we're still friends. Now our kids are playing, and now our grandkids will be playing in this tournament.
Kids from Treaty 6, 7, and 8 First Nations, Métis settlements, and communities from around the province come for one of the biggest hockey tournaments in Western Canada.
It's like, honestly, it's amazing to see this because we don't have this kind of, you know, representation for our kids, and it's great for them to have a tournament where they come, they make new memories,
and strengthen their communities.
It's just always been fun. We like it. It's fun. We're getting to meet some new boys. And meeting new friends, new people.
Oh yeah, I've been playing since I was a little kid.
Oh no, it's so fun. Love the crowd. It's just real fun to play out here. Community's the best.
I had a new player last year, and their experience was his passion.
You get to come out here and you're representing, a lot of them represent their nation, their settlement or their First Nation, so that's who they want to play for. And they have a lot of pride in going home with that gold medal.
And for the hundreds of teams who don't win,
it's pretty special, like seeing everyone here, watching us play.
They'll try again next year, creating even more memories. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The town of Taber has been awarded $250,000 as the 2026 Kraft Hockeyville champion. The money will pay for upgrades to the Taber Community Centre needed after a Zamboni explosion in December. After a 2-day public vote, Taber was picked as the winner over Tumbler Ridge, BC. Taber will also have the chance to host an NHL preseason game in 2027 and $10,000 worth of youth hockey equipment. And while there is disappointment in Tumbler Ridge, being a finalist in the contest gave locals something money cannot buy. Shannon Patterson explains.
After a week of festivities, hundreds gathered at the Tumbler Ridge Arena Saturday night to learn if their town would be the next Kraft Hockeyville.
We wanted to win first for our youth and our children in the community. $250,000 and the chance to host a preseason NHL game.
Tumbler Ridge was nominated after February's mass shooting left 8 community members dead, including 5 children from the local high school.
Do I think there's some upset people in Tumbler Ridge, whether that's youth or children or adults? 100%. There's got to be. We had 2 great, amazing communities that hockey and their arenas are the heart of their community. Would we have loved to win it in Tumbler Ridge? Absolutely. There's no question there. But Taber, Alberta is well deserving as well.
Of course, we were hoping for the win, but really, we did win.
For coming first in BC voting and coming second overall in the country, Tumbler Ridge was awarded $150,000 for arena upgrades.
I believe that we're going to have conversations in the coming weeks as to how we're going to exactly spend the money. And the dollar value changes what we can do.
I also think that we could be reaching out to the province of British Columbia and the federal government and trying to levy that $150,000 for some extra money to help with those upgrades.
The prize money wasn't the only benefit for this small community. Just 8 weeks after an unspeakable tragedy,
this helped change the narrative in the streets. This allowed people to become excited again about something.
People will process their grieving at different levels, but I think realizing our community came together as a whole, lots of people there, I think it was important for our community. I really believe that.
While Tumbler Ridge may not be the next Kraft Hockeyville,
truthfully, it was a beacon of light in a very dark time. It's given us something else to focus on, and we came out as winners at the end.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
The PWHL will make its last stop on its takeover tour at Rogers Place tomorrow. This afternoon, the Vancouver Golden Eyes held an open practice at the downtown community rink. Fans had a chance to watch some pro hockey drills and meet the players. This will be the second visit in Edmonton this season for the Professional Women's Hockey League. The Golden Eyes play the Boston Fleet tomorrow evening at 7:30 at Rogers Place. Tickets can be purchased on the PWHL website. Still ahead, look up. Way up for a glimpse of a teenage basketball player.
I looked and I'm like, well, that kid is really tall. And I thought she was 17. At the time she was 13. I think she was 6'3" or 6'4".
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Welcome back. -2 this morning, +2 for a daytime high today. 5 degrees cooler than average. And you did have some fairly brisk wind, which will be in place again through the day tomorrow. About 30 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts. Sustained wind around 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. Here's your snowfall warning across the north, 10 to 15 by mid-morning in through the Peace River region, and then about 10 to 15 here through the afternoon hours further to the east. So you can see most of that snow is already on the ground by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, but watch how the bulk of the accumulation in the northeast happens later in the day. Here in Edmonton, that model has 5 centimeters. I'm not convinced we get 5 centimeters stacking up on the ground, but there may be a bit of accumulation on grassy and snow-covered areas. Most of that's going to come later in the day tomorrow. Through the early morning hours, there's a chance of some wet snow. Now, the wind will be up. I think once that snow's hitting the ground, it's going to be melting on contact in a lot of areas. I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of drifting snow, but you may have that snow blowing around and reducing visibility. Mostly east of the city, I think, through sort of the mid to late morning hours. We get a bit of a break here in Edmonton after that chance of snow through the early morning hours. By about lunchtime, mostly cloudy. There may even be a few sunny breaks. And then all of this starts to wrap back from the northeast and push back through the Edmonton area. So supper time through the evening hours, that's where we could pick up a couple centimeters of accumulation on those grassy areas. And then it's all out of here by late tomorrow night. Temperatures will actually start to climb fairly decently towards the end of the week. -1 tomorrow morning in Grey Prairie and Red Deer. -3 in through the Fort McMurray region. We'll see daytime highs at about +2 in Fort McMurray. Heavier snow further south. Temperatures a degree or two below zero. A degree or two above the freezing mark in Grand Prairie. Jasper, big cool down from the 14 that he hit today. 3 degrees there. 5 for Red Deer and -1 in Lloydminster. Here in the city, 2 degrees tomorrow. 5 on Wednesday, 8 Thursday, and then double digits for Friday, Saturday. Some periods of snow tomorrow, especially later in the day. Gusty wind as well. And then maybe some more wet snow Sunday. And temperatures drop back into the 5 to 10 degree range in the long-range forecast as well. That is your forecast.
An Edmonton area teenager is putting in the work to make her basketball dreams come true. Her coach says while her height helps, it's her dedication that makes her such a slam dunk. Connor Hogg has more.
Even among the players at the Swoosh basketball tournament in South Edmonton Saturday, Erin Miller stands out above the rest.
It's very good for basketball, and it can be like good for other things as well. Like some of my friends are really short, so I can do stuff off the top shelf for them.
Miller has enjoyed playing basketball since grade 3. She got serious about the sport last year.
And I looked and I'm like, well, that kid is really tall. And I thought she was 17. At the time she was 13. And I think she was 6'3" or 6'4".
Now 6'7" at 15 years old, Miller and her parents credit her coach Ronald Hopkins with teaching her being good at basketball takes much more than height alone.
It's just been such an immense difference in how she's got on. It's been phenomenal for us to see.
Old school, back to the basket, post moves. She can do a jump hook just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It takes a while to learn how to get the right things to work, and it's not like as simple as just running up a court and shooting a ball. There's form to basketball, like with shooting form and like layups. You need to work to get where you want to be.
Hopkins says while Miller's height is an advantage, it's her discipline that he believes will take her far.
Let's say this. I know for sure she'll go to college.
Miller's dad watching from the sidelines, tallying scores, and seeing his daughter succeed at something she loves.
Just being as committed as she is, and she's not let her schoolwork slip as well. She's practicing and trying, and then when she tries it in a game and it comes off, it's just the greatest feeling to see it.
Getting to watch his daughter put in the work and see the results, passing on her skills to her teammates as well as her younger siblings, hoping to get to the point where she can play professionally.
Even if that means getting up at 4 in the morning to go somewhere for this, I would take the drive. I would do anything for it because I love this sport.
A demonstration of dedication to make a dream come true. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Turkey was on the menu today at Hope Mission. Dozens of volunteers helped with the annual Easter banquet at one of its centers downtown. About 700 people were fed here today in 3 separate sittings.
We do it because we care about people. We care about those that often get missed in society. And this is a seated, plated meal where we want to give people dignity.
Easter dinner was also served at Hope Mission's other centres, including the Caris Women's Shelter and CarePoint Wellness.
We're looking for Easter eggs. For each Easter egg we get prizes.
The historic John Walter Museum held an old-fashioned Easter egg hunt today. Kids were also tasked with finding 12 toy chickens for an extra prize. Organizers say many families make the hunt part of their annual Easter tradition.
It's important to bring the community together, I think. Really have the lovely community interactions and get outside, enjoy the weather, even if it is a little bit chilly. But we also get to see the cool history down here.
The museum tells the story of pioneer John Walter. It includes 3 of the family's original homes. And that is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I'm Jeff Hastings. Good night.